to the embassy. As I was finishing from the State House, they had already done with the meeting.
Okay.
So I did not assign my sister any duty. It is just because I had traveled with my personal assistant and also the bodyguard to attend the meeting.
Did you later offer an explanation as to who attended that meeting and what was discussed in your Facebook at page 94?
Yes.
You confirm that the person that attended that meeting and presided and had discussions was the county secretary?
Yes.
Thank you. Let us go to the China trip that you have been accused of sending your sisters and relatives to a tour. You got an invitation from a company?
Yes, to China.
To China?
Yes.
Did that company represent itself as having affiliations with the Chinese government, to the best of your understanding?
Yes, at first, the first case it associated itself with the national or the country of China.
The state of China.
Yes.
You had planned initially to attend that trip. Is that the position?
Yes, I am planned to attend.
But before that, tell us, how often do you travel outside the country as the governor of Meru? How many trips have you had outside the country from the date you were sworn in as the governor?
I've only traveled once.
To which country?
South Korea.
When was that?
Around 6 months ago.
What was the practice when you traveled? How do you travel? Do you travel with your team together? Do they travel in advance? What happened during your last trip to South Korea?
For this specific one, I sent my personal assistant, my bodyguard, and the team in advance. And then I met them there later.
Okay.
Yes.
Why did you send them in advance?
For preparations and also to know exactly what I'm supposed to do and
okay,
arrange everything before I get there.
Okay. Was that the case with the China trip?
Yes, it was the case.
So who traveled to China and for what purpose did they travel?
Those who travel to China are 4 people. One is the C. Waziri for Health.
Yes.
And one is the external leakages acting director, my personal assistant, and my bodyguard.
Did you eventually travel to China?
No, I didn't.
You did not?
Yes.
Why didn't you travel to China?
When my advance team arrived to China, it was contrary to what the Chinese people and the brokers. The message that was given to our office was different because the private company or the people that came to visit Meru associated themselves with the Chinese government, and upon arrival of my team there, it was contrary to what they said. It was just a private business company interested in investing in Meru.
So the assertion that this was an opportunity for a cancer center to be established in Meru by well-wishers through a private public partnership, is that the position?
Is in the position. If at all it was a donor donating even a single item, I could be the first one to get there. But it was purely a business company interested in doing business in Meru.
You have read the affidavit of your CM, George Gekunda.
Yes.
He explains clearly that they even discovered that the people who had invited you did not even have a physical office in China.
Yes, I've read it.
That they took them through various companies that manufacture items.
Yes.
Could not prove that they have any affiliation with any of those companies.
They did not have any.
Was it then safe for you to proceed to China with that information having been availed to you?
To me, it was a waste of time, even though the company was offering full sponsorship. But now, going to China just because of assisting some people to come and do business in Meru, it wasn't a priority to me.
Thank you. You have been questioned why the CEC or yourself did not seek any visa clearance to China. Do you have a Chinese visa?
Yes.
Yes, you do. So there was no need for you then, for the CS to ask for a visa to be provided. You already had one.
No.
Thank you. The deputy governor, has also accused you of arbitrarily relocating his office from next to your office to another block, changing the locks. Let me just read specifically. Number one, he's accusing you of arbitrary reduction, suspension, and withdrawal of budgetary facilitation. Were you in any way involved in reduction and withdrawal of his budgetary facilitation?
No, and I cannot do that. In our office, we have AIE Older, who used to be the chief of staff, and he does, via other officers, facilitation to our travels, facilitation to our offices, and it has been done according to the way I know things.
In fact, yesterday during cross-examination, it was discovered that one Nefat Kenya received a lot of facilitation on behalf of the deputy governor. Is Nefat Kenya an administrator in the office of the deputy governor?
Yes, it is the deputy governor himself that suggested that Nefat Kenya to be the administrator in his office.
Thank you. You have been accused of threatening the deputy governor to inflict bodily harm against the governor. And this is in reference to one of the WhatsApp group that you said, nitafinya kieleweke. You remember that WhatsApp group, WhatsApp post?
Yes.
What were you talking about when you said, nitafinya kieleweke? You were also accused, to combine with that, of mobilizing jeshi ya kumaliza deputy governor. What were you referring to when you said choma jeshi?
Specifically, council. I would like to see where exactly I have referred the kufinya kieleweke or the jeshi to my deputy governor.
So you deny making that particular
The allegation is that it's to the deputy governor.
Yes.
Where exactly have I referred to my deputy governor?
Thank you. Who then were you referring to, or what was the context?
I was referring to the kind of things going around in Meru County, the type of bullying that is going around. Of course, as a leader, you have to respond to some of the issues that goes around. Kufinya kieleweke, what's wrong with that?
Thank you. So you were not making any reference to
I was not making any reference to any particular person.
You have also been accused of forcefully breaking, entering, and ransacking
a criminal for the relevant authorities for doing such an act. I've never done that.
Thank you. Arbitrary relocation of the deputy governor's office. Is it true that there were reorganizational issues in the office of the governor that saw certain offices moved from one location to the other?
Yes, there was reorganization after we earned a big team of acting chief officers. In Meru, we have two blocks, the old block and the new one. And then the old block that has been used by the first governor, Kiraito Moronge, and partly by Honorable His Excellency Peter Mia. And that is where the deputy governor was reallocated to stay.
Thank you. Let us move on to the issue of accusing other leaders of being the 10 cartels in Meru in an event where the head of state was in attendance. Were you referring to the members of parliament? Because that is what was said yesterday.
Council, why would one suggest that I was referring to anyone when I've not mentioned one?
Who were you talking about when you said kuna makatel zaidi ya 10?
There's a certain story in Meru, maybe to take 1 minute to explain. One person gives work to his home, stole his own goat, and then there was a chief's meeting with everyone in that village. And that old man akaenda amebeba mkuki, akasema ya kwamba katikati yenu ninaona kuna mtu ambaye ameiba ile mbuzi yangu. Just in 1 minute I will kill that person. Hakujua ni nani. Mtu mmoja akachomoka tu mara moja akaenda. That's when now the man realized who the person was. In my case, when I talked about Makatel, I not mention anyone. I said this county will not be micromanaged by few cartels or 10 cartels and few rich people to assume that Meru is the way they want to paint it bad.
Thank you.
I did not mention anyone.
You did not mention anyone. That's
Yes.
quite important. There are these WhatsApp groups in Meru, County Admin Services, Third Government, 012. Are you the admin of these groups?
I'm not, I was added in that group.
You are added in that
Yes.
group. Is it an official WhatsApp group in Meru?
No, we don't have an official WhatsApp group in Meru County.
Did you at any moment incite or encourage any admin to remove the deputy governor from?
I don't know even the administrator, I was just handed.
Thank you. Did you encourage anyone to demean or insult?
No.
You did not. Thank you. I'll not talk about, let me ask you this question, it's quite important. It's the issue of sending certain employees of the county on compulsory leave. You remember that issue?
Yes, I remember.
You remember that issue? Number one, are you the one who sent these people on compulsory leave?
I'm not the one.
Who did that?
The county secretary.
County secretary.
Yes.
Are you aware that they were sent on compulsory leave?
I was notified after the county secretary sent them on compulsory leave due to some allegations that were reported to EACC.
So you are not part of the decision to send these people on compulsory leave?
No.
But you made a comment on Facebook
Yes.
about that issue.
Yes.
You confirm that you have appointed certain people to take charge of the revenue board.
Again, the appointment was done same as the sending of the same or the people on compulsory leave. Mine was to show or for people to know that these people are no longer doing or acting on behalf of Meru County government, and these are the new team that is on board.
Later on, you were subject of court proceedings in a case where these people cited you as a respondent, and subsequently there were contempt of court orders issued. Why were you cited as a respondent in that matter?
By virtue of my office, not even that single matter, but almost in all matters, I'm among the third or the fourth or the seventh respondent by virtue of my office.
So does it point out to any personal responsibility, or it is normal and ordinary for parties to file cases against the office of the governor?
It is normal, especially when it touches the county government of Meru.
Indeed, Madam Governor, when you came to office, you continued defending cases that were filed against the office of the governor for actions that took place even before you got to office?
When I got to office, I met 800 and something cases in court.
Those cases were citing the governor as a respondent?
Yes.
Did they in any way communicate that you personally had a responsibility to the action that offended the person who went to court, or it is by virtue of the office?
In all those cases, there is nowhere where I was directly responsible.
Thank you. Lastly, we have an issue of appointment of the following person. But before I go there, let us talk about the traffic marshals in Meru. You have been accused of creating this office called the traffic marshals without following due process. Did you commit that offense?
I did not appoint anyone for the traffic marshals. That was a pilot project from the Department of Public Service. Just like any other governor or leader, you are mandated or you're supposed to launch a project. But I did not participate in employing any of the traffic marshals.
Did you later seek the approval of the County Public Service Board to create this office?
The county secretary did it.
And those discussions are ongoing?
The discussions are ongoing.
Thank you.
And one comes on a ask, who then were the drivers of the border? We have the enforcement team and some few others that were piloting or were used to pilot the project. So we've never employed any single person to do that duty.
Thank you. You have been told that you bear the ultimate responsibility even for actions of your CECs, county chief officers, directors, drivers, your chief of staff. What is your understanding of your role as a governor of Meru County?
Of course, to provide leadership counsel, and also, even though in some ways I might be involved where I'm directly giving a direction, maybe via memo, because a government has a way of communication. But in this case, or in all these allegations before me today, none of them that I have alluded my signature, neither given a memo for the accusations that are before me.
Thank you. The very last, we have seen a lot of, and I do not wish to go deep in it, but we have seen the county assembly trying to make a big deal of some payments that were done on one day to Rose, to other members of county government. Is it that these people are being paid for forged interest, or why is it that there is an indication of many payments done on one day? To the best of your understanding, though you may not have the technical.
In county government, Mr. Speaker and the honorable senators, we receive funds not in one bunch.
Yes.
At times, funds are delayed, and some functions have to continue, like traveling, like meetings, and in most cases, we do or they do using their own money, like traveling, and then when money gets in or lands to our accounts, then they are paid. The issue of paying 10 payments in a day, might have been a delay of payments which has not been done for a month or two.
Thank you. When you travel, is money put in your account or it is deposited in the account of your PA, or it's your PA who receives it?
Since I became a governor, none of a single or no single coin has ever been deposited to my account.
How do you travel? Who then receives that money for your facilitation?
The PA,
Thank you.
the administrators.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Mr. Speaker, sir, that is all for this witness. I wish to hand her over for cross-examination. Thank you.
County Assembly, you may proceed to do your cross-examination. By way of indication, Counsel for the County Assembly, how much time do you need?
Mr. Speaker, if it finds favor with you, we request 2.5 hours.
You request?
2.5 hours. We only make this request, Mr. Speaker, based on the scope of the issues covered by the witness. They are not issues we can address in a short time. Our main witness, I think, was cross-examined for a similar amount of time. It's only fair for purposes of equality of arms.
Let's try 1.5, and then we'll gauge it from there.
The Honorable Governor Mwangaza, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Council.
Would you agree that the cultural structure and values and attitudes of the Mount Kenya community are substantially similar?